Assalamu alaikum friends, welcome to today's topic. Today's topic is accounting for investments in equity instruments. So recently we have covered relating to financial instruments. We have covered financial liabilities, compound instruments, financial assets. So this is part 4 of financial instruments IFRS 9. We are going to deal with equity instruments. There are two types of instruments. One is debt instruments, one is equity instruments. Debt instruments will be my next topic, which will be discussed in the next video. But in this, we are going to discuss equity instruments because debt instruments are more complex and it has a lot of things to be dealt. But equity instruments are much easier to deal with. That's why not much is there about this equity instruments. But let us see what are the few things which you need to know. Okay, so when you're studying IFRS 9, make sure that you know this is equity instruments, this is debt instruments, this is financial asset, this is financial liability. You need to categorize them and then study accordingly. Otherwise, you will get confused if you study together. Because it's like everything is repeated. Fair value through profit and loss, fair value through other comprehensive income, it's like repeated, but you don't know when to use for what. Okay, so that doubt should not be there. Because when I studied IFRS 9, I also studied the way I'm teaching you right now. I exactly studied that way. I broke down this standard into many, like I took a week to go through this IFRS 9, to be honest with you. To properly understand the standard, I took a week. So you can understand how big this standard is, and also even through my speech you can understand how confident I'm in this standard. It is because I've spent more time in the standard. If I would have rushed through the standard, definitely I would be struggling with the standard, and I would be struggling to explain the standard to you too, right? Because in my exam you won't believe that I got equity instruments and I got embedded derivatives, a topic which I never liked that time, but luckily I went through it, so I know somehow I managed to do it. Right? I thought that whatever I wrote good enough, right? Even though I was not so satisfied with my answer back then, but then definitely since I read about it, I studied it, I know something about it to write about. But, it's not like that I didn't attempt it or anything. So that's why you never know what comes up, right? And for me, my luck is such that easy papers I struggle to pass, and hard papers when I get something hard I pass them. So it's like that. But everyone's luck is not the same, and you should not go by luck also when it comes to study. Okay, rather you should study everything and be ready so that anything comes from anywhere you are confident to tackle it. Okay, so let us start the today's topic. Classification. You need to classify this into two groups: fair value through profit or loss, or whether fair value through other comprehensive income. The whole IFRS 9 is based on this concept only. Where does it go? In profit or loss or other comprehensive income? So investments in equity instruments such as investment in the ordinary shares. Okay, investments, equity means ordinary shares you are investing in of another entity. Okay, ordinary shares of another entity are measured at either fair value through profit or loss or fair value through other comprehensive income. So now let us read if it's fair value through profit and loss. Okay, the normal expectation is that equity instruments will have a designation of fair value through profit and loss. This is normal. Normally, it is expected that it is through profit and loss only. But when other situation comes that you have to go through fair value through other comprehensive income, let us see. It is possible to designate an equity instrument at fair value through other comprehensive income provided that following conditions are complied with. That means to to classify fair value through other comprehensive income, that means there are conditions attached to it. But in profit and loss, there are no conditions. So normally we go by profit and loss, but if certain conditions are there, then it is through OCI. Okay. Now, what are those two conditions? Make sure that you know these conditions. You should know it because in the exam, if let's say you have these two conditions and still you are saying fair value through profit and loss, then you are wrong. The equity instrument must not be held for trading. So if that equity instrument is not held for trading, and the moment and means both conditions should be satisfied. You should always look for these words when the word condition is given, whether it is and or or. Or means if one of them is there, it is OCI. And means both has to be satisfied. Not only one, both. So it should not be held for trading. What should not be held for trading? The equity instrument. And there must, it shows the importance that it should be. You don't have an option. There must have been an irrevocable choice for this designation upon initial recognition of the asset. So initially when you recognize the asset, you told that you are going through fair value through OCI. And also it is not held for trading. Then it is OCI only. Irrevocable means what? You cannot change the choice later. You cannot say, okay, today I will recognize it through other comprehensive income. Future, if I want, I will put it back in the profit and loss account. You cannot say that. You don't have that flexibility. That option is not there. The moment you told that you have elected that you are going to go through OCI, forever it is OCI only. Okay, irrevocable choice. That means you have a choice. A choice is given, fair value or OCI. But once you make it, you cannot reverse it back. You cannot change it. Okay. That also initially when you are recognizing the asset, that time you should make this choice. That OCI and also it's not held for trading, then it's OCI. Remember these two conditions. Because these two conditions, what you're studying here, whatever the other conditions, even for other instruments also, if it is fair value through other comprehensive income, the same rule applies. This two only. It's like copy paste, copy paste, copy paste. So you don't have to memorize every time. Memorize it once, then automatically you can just replicate in the other places wherever fair value through other comprehensive income is there for other instruments. This saves time also while you're studying. Let us go to the measurement. So when is fair value through profit and loss? Investments in equity instruments that are classified as fair value through profit and loss are initially recognized at what? Fair value. Come on, it's the word fair value through profit and loss says initially it is recognized at fair value only. So this is nothing hard for you to remember also. Transaction costs are expense to profit and loss. Yes, transaction costs you have to deduct. For example, your issue cost, or if you are issuing at discount. But normally equity shares and all you don't issue at discount, like how you do for financial liabilities and all, like bonds and debts and all. So at the reporting date, the asset is revalued to fair value at the reporting date. That means at the year end, you again revalue the asset to the fair value with the gain or loss recorded in the. So the gain or loss in the beginning, it is fair value. At the end of the year, fair value will change. So that change in the fair value, if the fair value goes down, it's a loss. If the fair value goes up, it's a gain. So that gain or loss is recognized in profit and loss. That's why we say fair value through profit and loss. You see how that word came? Because gain and loss we recognize in profit and loss. Okay? Because at the reporting date also, it will be revalued to fair value. Initial also fair value, at the end also fair value, but the fair value, there's a change in the fair value. It might either go up or down. Now let us go to the second one, fair value through OCI. Investments in equity instruments that are classified as fair value through OCI initially recognized at fair value plus transaction cost. The difference comes here. That is also fair value, this is also fair value, but here fair value minus transaction cost, here fair value plus transaction cost. You're understanding? Here you expense means you're minusing the transaction cost from fair value. Here you are adding it. Okay? When it is OCI. So at each reporting date immediately prior to disposal. Here also. Same thing. Asset is revalued to fair value. Same. But this gain and loss will be recorded in OCI, not profit and loss. Immediately prior to disposal. That means before you dispose. When the asset is revalued to fair value, that gain or loss is recognized in OCI. This gain or loss will not be reclassified to profit or loss in the future. This you need to understand. This gain or loss, that means equity instrument. If you are making any gain or loss, that gain or loss cannot be put in profit and loss in the future. It's forever in the OCI. Not reclassified means forever in the OCI. This you should know, that classification you should know. Which items will be reclassified, which items will not be reclassified to profit and loss. Okay, so test your understanding 5 will do at the end of the video. Discuss the accounting and the ethical issues raised by the above. Okay, so this is definitely a good question, both from your IFRS 9 perspective and also ethical issues, because ethics, definitely ethics you will get. There is no doubt, 101%. So this is the summary. So that's it. We have covered equity instruments. What is the summary? Investments in equity, two things: fair value through profit and loss. Fair value through profit and loss is fair, simple, easy. Fair value through OCI can be used if two things is there: not held for trade and irrevocably designated. That's it. Now let us look at test your understanding 5. So now let us go through test your understanding 5. The directors of Americano designated the entity's investments in equity to be measured at fair value through OCI on the grounds that it minimizes volatility in profit and loss and therefore has a positive impact on the share price. They argue that this accounting treatment enables them to fulfill their duty to maximize shareholder wealth. Americano buys equity investments to trade in the short term. Okay, so look at for the word. It's therefore trade in the short term. Okay. Now let us discuss the accounting and ethical issues raised above. So first, start by discussing accounting issues always, then ethical issues. And it is to be dealt, wrote in different paragraphs to understand that this paragraph is for accounting, this paragraph is for ethical issues. Okay. If you see the first two paragraphs, okay, or looks like the first paragraph deals with accounting issues, from second, third, the rest all is for ethical issues. Okay, so equity instruments can be measured at fair value through OCI if the investment is not held for short-term trading and if an irrevocable election has been made. If equity investments are acquired for short-term trading, IFRS 9 stipulates that they must be measured at fair value through profit and loss. Remember, it should be not held for trading, but this is held for trading, short-term trading. You cannot use OCI. That time it should be measured at fair value through profit and loss normally. Therefore, Americano should measure its investment as equity investment at fair value through profit and loss. See how they have come to that final line answer. They immediately didn't start writing that Americano should be like this. They started defining that what are the conditions that OCI can be used. Two conditions: should not be held for short-term trading, irrevocable designation. Okay, so they have told that this is held for short-term trading. Therefore, so they have given the rule for IFRS 9. Then they have given linked it with Americano, saying that Americano should not measure it at OCI, they should measure it fair value through profit and loss because they have held it for short-term trading. That's it. This is the only accounting issue. Next, we are going to discuss ethical issues. Okay, directors are appointed by shareholders because they have justified that this measure is correct. So that's why you are starting. Directors are appointed by shareholders and have responsibility to act in their best interest. This may be considered to be by the maximizing profit. Definitely, it is directors' job that they have to try to maximize profit because they are appointed by shareholders. They are the agent of the shareholders, right? But you should not forget that at the same time, they are accountants who are trusted by the public to produce financial statements that faithfully represent the financial position, performance, and cash flows. These financial statements are relied on by users to make economic decisions. You are just not an employee of the director, of the shareholder. You are also an accountant and you are trusted by public that whatever you present will be faithful so that they can rely on it. Right? So to ensure that this trust is not broken, accountants are bound by some ethics, code of ethics. What is it? Integrity is the first one. Integrity means being honest and straightforward. Basically, they're just giving you the definition of integrity. You are honest and you're straightforward. So manipulating financial asset measurement category shows a lack of integrity. How this uh, recognition of fair value through OCI can be an ethical issue. So so just see the way they're writing the answer also. First, they have defined integrity. Then they are saying that if you manipulate it, It is a lack of integrity. So they are bringing this into ethical issue, making this into ethical issue. This is how you have to link the accounting issues with ethical issues. There's an interrelation between these two. They're not isolated. If you are doing something, some crime, or you are concealing some information, you are hiding some information, you are manipulating accounts, changing accounts. There are two issues. One is accounting issue, accounting to the standard you are not following the correct way, that you have to present. The other one is ethical issue. You're not integrate, you're not objective. It is sacrificed, right? You're not professional competent, you are not following the professional behaviors. So all these are ethics, okay? Ethical issues. That also you need to bring out in the answer. Using the same accounting problem. So here the problem was what? You were manipulating, simply you were manipulating the financial asset measurement, which is a lack of integrity. That means you're not honest, you're not straightforward. So it would appear that the fair value through OCI has been selected as a way to produce a particular performance profile. You need to give intentions also. Why such behavior is there? Intention has to be there in the answer. So intention is to give profit, to show that they are making profit. The performance is good. So this is another ethical issue. How? This demonstrates a lack of objectivity. You see, every paragraph has different ethical issue. Okay. First paragraph they talked about integrity, second paragraph they talked about objectivity. So when you write answer, write in different paragraphs. Don't write together everything. Ethical issues, it is issues, that means more than one issue. Okay. Mostly such question comes for 7 to 9 marks. The ethical issue questions. It's not objective. How not objective? So objective means you are independent. Okay, you are independently taking the decision. You are not being influenced by anyone. But here you are influenced by whom? You are influenced to make profit. You want to show profit, that your performance is good. So you are not objective. That's why it's a lack of objectivity. Therefore, despite the director's claim about the impact on shareholder wealth, right? Even though directors are claiming, yes, I am there for the shareholder, I want to maximize their wealth, they have an ethical responsibility to faithfully represent Americano's underlying position and performance. Yes, whatever they say, that I am here to maximize shareholders' wealth, but ultimately, ethically, they have that ethical responsibility, that Americano's position and performance, as it is, they have to show, faithfully represent. Okay. So when you're writing your answer, also don't write too simple. Okay, don't write as it is they have to show, or be write this words, because this is from your conceptual framework. Faithfully represent, relevance. Write this. Try to write these words. Okay, this is achieved through compliance with IFRS standards. How can you be unethical? How can you be ethical? By complying with IFRS standard. You go hand in hand with IFRS standards, then automatically you'll be ethical. Accounting issue is solved. Ethical issue is solved. Okay, and rest all you know. So period. So that's it for equity instruments. Not so much in equity instruments, that you have to remember only two things: OCI and fair value through profit and loss. Next is debt instruments. We'll be going more detail in debt instruments. Okay. So see you there. See you in the next video. Until then, take care.